Hello everyone, Saif Siddiqui this side. Today I will teach you a new subject which is economics. So now let's start. Before moving on the topic, I would like to tell you what is economics. The word economics is derived from the two Greek words oikos and nemin, which meaning the rule or law of household. Now let's come on the definition. According to the Adam Smith, as you know very well about this, Adam Smith, he is considered as the father of economics. He wrote a book entitled An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of the Wealth of the Nation in 1776. Initially, it deals with the way in which the household made the significant use of scarce resources which they had made for disposal. Economics suggests how scarce resources should be utilized so that we get maximum benefit or maximum profit. So now let's move on the central problem of economics. There are basically three central problems: how to produce, what to produce, and for whom to produce. So now let's talk about the first point, which is how to produce. Every firm want to increase or maximize their profit. They generally apply different types of techniques, just like machine, which is capital, technique, and labor intensive. Capital intensive and other one is the labor intensive techniques. Though they engage in that type of production in which they get maximum benefit, or maximum utilization of manpower as well as the scarce resources without reducing or compromising with the qualities. So now the second point is what to produce. So the first in the basic question, what to produce means the what you want to produce, a commodity or a product or a service which you want to produce or from which you want to maximize your profit. As we know very well, profit is very essential for the growth as well as the welfare. So firstly, you need to analyze the market, that what types of demand of a product or a services required in the market, and the third one is the for whom to produce. Since the producers are interested in producing goods or services for those buyers who will pay them price. Economics is the study of human behavior as a relation between ends and scarce means. Basically, economics suggests how scarce resources should be utilized. We get maximum benefit because every firm wants to generate profit for the growth as well as the human welfare. So take an example of a life boy, take an example of a baby products, take an example of a LPG, take an example of a film industry. Every firm, whether it's an industry, whether it's a firm, whether it's a small scale organization, whether it's a big organization, or short term goals or long term goals, every firm wants to generate the profit. Now let's talk about the branches of economics. Basically, there are two types of economics. First one is the microeconomics and the second one is macroeconomics. Now let's talk about the what is microeconomics. The word micro is derived from the Greek word which means small, and the macro means large. Now if we talk about what is microeconomics, so microeconomics is the study of economic behavior as an individual firm or industry in the entire economy. It deals only on individual unit, individual firm, pricing of the product, firm location, product pricing, and so on. Basically, it deals only on the single unit rather than all the units. Individual firm, individual wages, individual employment, individual pricing of the product, individual firm position. They does not include all the things. They only deals on the single unit. Now let's talk about the macroeconomics. As I had told you earlier about, it deals on the entire economy, not deals on the single unit. It deals on all the units, sum of all the units. Take an example of it deals on the GDP. As we know very well about the GDP, GDP is a gross domestic product. the sum total of all the products produced in one financial year, one in country, is known as GDP. It deals on the entire economy. So now let's talk more about the macroeconomic. It also deals on the GNP, GDP, inflation, unemployment, overall unemployment, poverty. It means simply it includes all the sum total of all the activities which are occurring in the one country and one financial year. So now let's talk about the difference between the microeconomics and macroeconomics. Difference on the basis of their scope, on the basis of their study, on the basis of their tools, on the basis of their deals. If we talk about microeconomics, it generally their scopes are, it is narrow in scope. If we talk about the study, it deals about the individual company. If we talk about the tools, their basic tools are individual demand and individual supply of a particular commodity. If we talk about the deals in, it deals in individual price, individual income and individual output. So now let's talk about the macroeconomics. So their scopes are, it is wide in scope, it deals or study on the entire economy or the whole. It basic tools are aggregate demand and aggregate supply of a particular commodity. Now let's talk about the deals. It deals on the aggregate income, aggregate price and the aggregate output. So now let's talk about the nature of economics. As I have already told you about that economics is science as well as an art. Now the question arises here that why we call science. Science is an organized branch of knowledge which tells us the relation and causes and effect of relationship between the economic agents. It generally deals or integrates with the mathematical science, statistical science. It also identifies the relationship between the price, demand and supply of the product. If we talk about the positive economics, so it generally tells us the relationship between the two variables, that is what is, it states what is, it does not pass any valuable judgment. Now if we talk about the normative economics, so it passes a valuable judgment. It states that is what ought to be. If we talk about economics as an art, now the question arises in our mind that why we called as an art. So basically art is a discipline that how things are to be done, whether it's a production, whether it's a sales and distribution, whether it's a branding, whether it's a packaging, whether it's a distribution among the channels and so on. Hope you all enjoy this video very well, and this video is generally helpful for those students who are pursuing BBA, MBA and BCOM. So hope you are happy and healthy. We will connect you soon.